Hey guys, welcome to part two of my deep dive into the history of the Collingwood Football Club and all the players that have represented us. Um, just want to say a big thank you to everyone that's subscribed and liked already and stuff like that. Very humbling. We've got a great community here on Collingwood YouTube and whatnot. So I'd just like to say a big thank you to getting a bit of a head start in this space because I am passionate about it, and it's going to keep me going. I'm one of those guys that if I do get that little bit of a kick up the arse and encouragement, it does go a long way for me. So with that, today we'll start with player number 5, which is a man by the name of Arthur Gibbs or Arthur Elliott Gibbs. He was born on the 28th of December in 1872 in Woodend, Victoria, which back then was a very remote town near Mount Macedon. Recruited from the Collingwood Juniors, standing 174 centimetres, Arthur would play VFA for the Pies in 1896 and be part of the Premiership, being amongst the best players on the day. The wool merchant by trade then transitioned to being a part of the club's first year in the VFL in 1897. Arthur only played the 2 VFL seasons, having been quite old on debut. A backman with experience and a mature man's body, he would finish with 22 games to his name. When Arthur was married in 1899 after retirement, the club gifted him a clock. In 1916, as a 43-year-old, he enlisted to fight in World War One. Many around him noted his deep love not only for Collingwood, but for country. In 1917, he was sent to England as war took a toll on his aging body. He was then sent home after treatment and discharged due to being medically unfit. However, he still served the war effort on the home front despite his medical woes for the remainder of the war. Arthur Gibbs died on the 8th of August 1940, aged 67 in Hawthorn. We thank him for his service to our country. Our sixth player in this series is a man by the name of Walter Worthy Gillard, known as Wal. He was born on the 10th of July in 1874 in East Ballarat, another product of the Collingwood Juniors. Wal stood 178 centimetres tall and represented Collingwood from 1896 to 1899. A forward, he amassed 20 goals from his 37 VFL appearances for the Pies and was also a member of the VFA Premiership in 1896. He was noted for being a long kick of the footy. Wal had a very famous moment where he had a shot at goal on the run in the dying stages of a match against Carlton from 50-odd yards. As the ball was in the air, the bell was sounding to signify the end of the game. The ball went through the big sticks and the Pies won the game, a result in which Carlton tried to protest that the bell had sounded prior to the kick. Thankfully, they were unsuccessful. Wal died on the 8th of October 1931 at the age of 57 in Clifton Hill, Victoria. An obituary in the Argus reads, Death, Gillard. On the 8th of October, at his residence, Alexandra Parade, Clifton Hill. Walter Worthy, beloved husband of Minna, or Minor, and loving father of Norman and Eva, aged 57 years. With Christ, which is far better, his life was only this, to serve Christ, here on earth, then share his heavenly bliss. He was laid to rest in the Burundara Cemetery in Kew. Player number 7 is a man called Jim Gregory, born James Grant Gregory on the 13th of February in 1876, also in Ballarat, and recruited from Ballarat, was a tall rover for the time, standing 180 centimetres tall. He would be at the Pies from 1896 to 1901, amassing 47 VFL games for the Pies, kicking 17 goals. Also a product of the VFA Premiership team in 1896. Jim's family were all gifted footballers. Jim, the bootmaker by trade, had 10 brothers playing senior football at some point or another, 8 of which played VFA and the others the senior team at Ballarat. He was described by the Herald in a little write-up. Jim was a nippy, hard-working rover who had great eye for goal, and his kicking is immense. 1901 would see Jim have frequent injuries for the club, forcing him into retirement. However, in 1908, he would be back in the big league as a boundary umpire, with 31 VFL appearances to his name. Jim died on the 14th of May, 1949, aged 73 in Malvern East. An obituary in The Age reads, on May 14th, at his residence, 44 Karma Avenue, East Malvern, James Grant Gregory, dearly loved husband of the late Nora, dearly loved father of Dorothy, Len, and Edgar, loved father-in-law of Kathleen and Doreen, and loving grandfather of Diane and Marie. Rest in peace. Our last player for this video is a man by the name of Frank Hailwood. Francis Hailwood was born on the 3rd of April in 1873 in Alexandra, near Lake Eildon, Victoria, in Australia's far northeast. Nicknamed Charger, he was also a product of the Collingwood Juniors. The 184-centimetre ruckman was a popular figure, accumulating 104 VFL games, as well as also being a part of that VFA Premiership we have spoken so much about. A handy forward, he also kicked 37 goals in his VFL career. His greatest achievement was being part of the club's famous 1902 Premiership team. A writer called Markwell for the Australasian, I assume that's a newspaper, commented on that year. If one individual member of the company has done more than any of his fellows towards beating opposition teams, that one is certainly the big-hearted, strong-limbed young giant Hailwood, whose play in the ruck has in every match been invaluable. I would almost style him the finest follower of the year. In that 1902 year, he was selected to represent Victoria in the rep game against South Australia. Them Pies fans were mortified to hear that he would be moving to WA for work opportunities. I think there was a bit of a gold rush over there, and he wanted to follow some opportunities. He would return in 1904. However, the game seemingly had gone past him, and he retired at year's end. Frank would die on the 21st of May, 1944, aged 71 in Carlton. His funeral was well attended by many past champions. An obituary in the Argus reads, Hailwood, on May 21, suddenly, at 30 Palmerston Street, Carlton, Frank Charger, ex-Collingwood Football Club, died. Loved brother of Margaret and Martha, aged 71 years. He rests at the Coburg Cemetery after the family held a private burial. Alright guys, thank you for tuning into part 2. I will get around to part 3 now, and one day soon that'll drop. But yeah, thank you very much. As I mentioned in the previous video, family, friends, anyone that wants to add some colour to what we already have here, be much appreciated. Thank you, and go Pies.